What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 4 meme coins. At least I assume all of them are meme coins. There's one on here that I'm not 100% sure, but Doge, Wrapped Matic for Mr. Hat, Pepe for Mischiefism, Ka for One Punch Willie, and Dogecoin for Chris Wild Fung. I will not leave timestamps. I don't think it's necessary in a video like this. You can just skip around, right? And probably most of these coins will depend on Doge or Pepe, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, Doge would probably rely more on Doge, but it looks like it's doing its own thing recently, huh? Maybe not recently. Let's compare it. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, guys. Thank you all for being here. Let's see. Kind of similar. You know, I want to put candlesticks on here. Similar at times. More bullish, though. You know, pumped while Dogecoin was moving down, and it's held up better, too. Right? Like, Doge has already moved below its previous highs. I guess you have, too, to be fair. But still, it looks more bullish to me. The only reason I'm comparing that right now, I won't be doing that in all the other ones, is just because I want to see if this thing really does follow Doge. And it seems to be somewhat correlated. I bet if I threw the correlation coefficient on there, they'd be pretty correlated. That's kind of odd, though. That's like a very inverse correlation right there. I'm kind of curious. It's just very neutral. That's what it is. Somewhat inverse recently. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't need Doge to move up. Maybe it wants to do its own thing. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but let's actually do some TA now besides just comparing it to Dogecoin. So weekly RSI looks phenomenal. No problem there. It looks great. Looks like you want to go up more. Absolutely. I have no problem calling for higher prices instead of lower prices. Where would your next target be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros, I think. 7 zeros, 7, 2, 2. Minimum target, 7 zeros, or sorry, 6 zeros, 1 would be your maximum target. And potentially higher. Absolutely, you could go higher. Let's look at the daily. Daily also looks very bullish. Very, very bullish. Neutral, but bullish. I guess I shouldn't say very, very bullish, but it just looks, you know, looking back through time, I guess really since you've had this move up here, you haven't been in the oversold zone. The lowest you got was at 35. It's pretty strong. Finding support at previous, you're literally stair-stepping, doing everything right. So, yeah, I don't think if you go lower, it's going to be by that much. You could go lower than this low, sure, you could. Maybe you move sideways and down for a little bit over the coming days or weeks, maybe. You did kind of find resistance at your 6D. You know, it depends on what you do today and tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised if you went lower based on this, but I don't think you go lower than this low. So from a high to a low, maybe maybe you do form some kind of double bottom, or maybe you hold 7 zeros, 2, 5. What would that be? 7 zeros or that 8 zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 zeros, 2, 5, 5, 2. Maybe you hold that line. If not, you're going to come down to 7 zeros, 2, 1, 5 to 7 zeros, 2 itself, somewhere just below the screen line. Maybe some kind of double bottom or something like that could happen. I don't think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I like that more. I definitely like the non-double bottom idea. I like the idea. Look at that. 2, 3, 6 right in the middle of your golden ratio here. So yeah, 7 zeros, 2, 5, 6, 7 zeros, 2, 4, 7, 5, somewhere in that range. You're at 7 zeros, 2, 8, 8, 8 right now. And then up. And then up. You've got a good bit of upside to look forward to. I just don't know when that'll happen, but you know, maybe you do. Maybe you do. You could go lower than this low. I guess it depends. I don't know if it really depends on Dogecoin too much. I suppose you could go lower than that low, and it would be fine. It's just not what I'm expecting right now. I want to see how you react with the given areas that I just said. So Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. And Mr. Hat, definitely request this one again. Pepe. Pepe. Sorry, guys. I got to clear my throat out so much. Pepe on Kraken. We'll just do crypto. Weekly here. Nice move. A little bit oversold. No, not oversold. Sorry. A little bit below the 50. Low to high. Reached for your 382 and you didn't quite get there. Literally tipped, found support at your 236, found resistance at your 069, and then just didn't get there. Did you, Pepe? Huh. I don't know what to think of this. I'm kind of scared for Pepe. Kind of. Maybe it's less scary now. I don't know. Maybe move up more. I don't know. You need to, I think you need to get back above this line. What you need not do is move up here and then reject. That's what you need not do. And that looks pretty in line with this kind of range you've established. You need to get above 40102. 109, let's just say. Let's stop messing around. You need to get up, man. You definitely need to move up. Daily RSI does not look the best. I don't like it too much. Weekly RSI, I don't really know what to make of it. It doesn't look bad, but it could. And the 4-hour RSI looks very good. Actually looks very productive, so that would call for move up. But again, are you going to move up just a little bit and then reject? Or do you have enough to kind of move through this? It's hard to say. 618 hit, 69 hit. Oh man, conflicting. So yeah, I'm going to stick with it. I think initially you are going to move up here. You're going to move up to your 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say 4 zeros 1 area. 5 zeros 9 7 to 4 zeros 1 1 whatever. 4 zeros 1 0 1. I don't know. So somewhere in this area, man. I'm getting tired of talking that way. Somewhere in that area, find resistance, and then probably move down to complete this pullback to your 382, which would also be at your 886, the kind of lowest fib retracement that you'd want to see if you want to hold support, and that would be potentially in line like that. I don't know. I'm calling for lower prices overall, but for the immediate term, I think up a little bit and then down. That's my personal opinion, which wouldn't have been what I would have expected, but I'm just going off of the charts, not my opinion. So, or maybe it is my opinion that's laced in the charts. I don't know. Crow with knife. I'm assuming this is a meme coin, like cat with dog, or cat with hat, dog with hat. I don't know why I said cat with dog. Maybe there's a cat with dog. Crow with knife. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Low to high here. 1618 tipped it, bro. Golden ratio, right? 1618 tipped it. Now you're back at the golden retracement. Golden extension to golden retracement. Nice move. Finding support on the 886 after moving above it. Nice. Closing above the... Yeah, okay, so you need to get above the 618. Don't find resistance here. If you do find resistance here, that puts you in a kind of make it or break it kind of scenario where you need to... I'd like it if you held that line, but, I mean, you can move all the way down here and still be good, right? And this line holding... You can close right below it clearly, right, and still hold it. So it's not like as soon as you break it, it's done. Just the general area will suffice. But if not, the 1272 is likely where you would go, or even the 1414. And those are the best case scenarios, right? Either 886, 1272, or 1414. If not, likely you'd be going lower. But if you can just avoid that and get above the 618 today or tomorrow, close above there and continue to close above there, that would definitely make me believe this is the low more so. If not, though, if today and tomorrow you start to pull back, let's check in on this one. One Punch Willie. Let's check in on this one in like by the end of this week, actually. Because if it's up here, cool, good. If it's down here, you've got some things that you need to hold. If not, then it's a lot lower, and if not, it's a little bit lower. But that would be nice if you held that there, or even the 786. I don't think you're going to hold the 786, but if you come down and hold the 786, that's fine too. You don't have to go all the way down here. Really, I just want to get you above the 618. So before I keep repeating myself, basically saying I don't know, I'll say you're in a precarious placement right now. You're right at the 618 after finding support on the 1618 up to the 618, finding potential resistance here, which is not necessarily a good thing. Getting above the 886 is nice, but you got to continue, got to follow through with it. So this would not be a good area to turn around. Puts you in a kind of sensitive area or a delicate situation, I should say. You're also finding resistance not just on the 618, but previous areas of support throughout this whole range here. You know, if I put it right at the low close right there, finding resistance right there. Have you just broken through and now you're back testing as resistance to move lower? You know, things to consider. But I don't mind your daily RSI right now. I don't mind your 4 hour. Yes, I'm aware you have bearish divergence, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. It could be, but I don't think it is. And the 1 hour looks bullish as well. So shorter term stuff is on your side to move up. Just do it. Get up, man. And that's really all I have to say. So hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Again, the area. Wait, oops, I'm sorry. We got one more. We got one more. We got Doge for Chris Wildfong. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros, 5, 7, 2, 8. Get above there. Get above there sooner than later. And if you don't, you know, just don't reject. Continue to like do your thing, wigging and wagging, moving sideways, but slowly upwards. You know. If it's not today or tomorrow, maybe 3 days from now, but the sooner the better, because if not, it likely will result in some kind of pullback. And this is okay. Pulling back to here, finding support, great. It's all good, but you don't know that that's going to happen. This could happen, which is still fine. This could happen, which is still fine, but from where you are now, that's a big difference in price action, right? This is a little, oh, who cares, right? A little slap on the wrist, but this can give you that punched in the gut feeling if it pulls all the way back there. Let alone if it actually sees a lower low, which is also still on the table. All of that would be taken away. You just got to get above the 618. I keep repeating myself. Dogecoin, Doge USD. Hit that like button for repeating myself. We are on the daily here. Oversold. Very, I would say, a little bit back and forth, but definitely more dominated by the bearish side on the daily as of late. Not spending too much time above the 50. No problem being in the oversold zone. You got overbought for about a minute, but you have no problem being oversold for a lot longer. So, and then again, just the overall time that you're below your 50 here versus above it. It's just not conducive for a bullish environment. And that kind of makes sense. Dogecoin, you're in a downtrend. You're probably going to be boring for a while. I'm going to make this real easy, right? You're at the low points of your downtrend here. You're probably going to move up. You're probably going to move up to your high points. I don't think that it's going to merit much continuation, though. I don't think you're about to break out of this. I think you're going to move back up here, but you're not going to break out of it. Now, if you do break out of it, like if this were the trend line, it would be like this, right? You break out for a second, and then you come back in, right? I don't think that you're actually going to break out. It's not going to be a sustained move, but I'm just trying to figure out how to draw this line because nothing's really matching up well. Whatever. Anyway, something like this. We're at the low points. It would make sense to go up. If we look at the relative high here to the relative low, 61869 area, maybe you do something like this where you reach up here, you find resistance, pull back to your 0.5, and then you reach up for your 786, and then that's where your high is, right? And maybe it doesn't take that amount of time, but just a rough idea. Maybe you don't actually hit this line at all, but you'd be looking for Dogecoin at this rate to go up to about 12.7 cents. You're at 10.4 cents now, and then probably working its way down and being boring over the coming months, I would expect. And what do I mean by coming down and being boring? I just mean that it will probably interact with this green line yet again, right? It'll probably dance around with it up until October or probably November or later, honestly, but at least October, at the earliest October. If we go to Doge, USD, this is what I'll leave you with. last cycle, right before the big pump at the end of Doge's long phase of boringness, it danced around that 123, the green line, the 123 weekly moving average, weekly time frame. 123 simple moving average. It danced around there, hung around there. If you actually bought below that green line, that would have been the best area to buy in this last kind of call before the ride up, okay? Back over here, same kind of thing. There weren't really many opportunities to buy below the green line, right? Here's one right here, and that wasn't even the best. These were the lower points, but still around the green line nonetheless. Dancing around the green line for such a long time. Yes, you were consolidating for a very, very long time, but the most boring part, the time that was right before your most exciting part, you danced around that 123 green line for quite some time, right? Quite some time, both times before. And I'm just calling for the same kind of thing. You're doing it now. You're doing it now. And Dogecoin will likely pump, just not, not this month, probably not next month, probably not even October. November through January, somewhere in that time frame would make sense for Dogecoin to start. When I say pumping, I don't mean like this. And I don't mean like this and then this. That's not what I mean. I mean like this, right? Like doing Dogecoin things like this, right? This kind of stuff. That probably won't happen, in my opinion, until November or later. But technically, I think I've seen some things that suggest it could happen in October, and it could happen as late as January. But boring, all in all. Dogecoin's going to be boring. Any move up is going to get sold into. Any move down is going to get bought into. And it's just here's where you will remain until probably around like this time frame here, if not even a little earlier, until like this time frame here. That little window. So enjoy nothing for the next, I don't know, couple months. Perfect time to accumulate. Perfect time to rotate gains from other coins into a coin that will have very insane gains in a very short amount of time, just months down the road, not right now, right? All right, fine. We'll do one more thing. I wasn't going to do it, but we're talking about it. I can't get away from it when I talk about Doge, man. We're going to compare Bitcoin here, BTC USD, on the all-time history index. New price scale. There we go. And logarithmicize it. Boom. There we go. Okay, perfect. So this is how I like to look at it, right? Because we only really have two significant cycles with Dogecoin to base ourselves off of here. So if I can just get this right, something like that. There we go. Okay. So we're going to use lines. We're going to use straight up and down vertical lines. So Bitcoin, and before this chart, this only shows everything relative to Dogecoin's beginning. It doesn't show the beginning of Bitcoin, which would go back 4 years or more, actually. But anyways, I think it's obvious that it was coming down. It was probably in the middle of its bear cycle here. And here is the end of its bear cycle. Here, however, was the beginning of its bull cycle, right? Dogecoin had bottomed by then, but I wouldn't say that its bull cycle really started until here, okay? And we'll just do that. White for the beginning, black for the end. Just kidding, you can't see that. Maybe just red. White, red. Okay. Here, end of the bear cycle, beginning of the bull cycle, arguably the same time, right? For Bitcoin, the orange line. Dogecoin still hadn't even found its low, relatively speaking, and if you don't believe in that, we'll just take that away, right? Not the low there. Low for Bitcoin, beginning of the bear cycle or bull cycle, not the most bullish part, but the beginning of the bull cycle nonetheless, right? Dogecoin had yet to bottom. It actually found its low over here, and this is when I'm making it red. Maybe we should make it green for time for Dogecoin to go. And actually, that's when it found its low. That's not when it went. It went here. Okay. We're going to go here. Green. Green, green, green. And then Bitcoin found its low here, beginning of the bull cycle, the current bull cycle, right? Right there. Dogecoin has yet to establish that it's in a bull cycle, right? Certainly, this is not bull cycle behavior for Dogecoin, not what it normally looks like, right? Maybe after humongous candles like this, but not after some weak-ass stuff that didn't even break out to new all-time highs like this stuff did over here. At any rate, let's measure this by time, okay? So from the beginning of Bitcoin's bull cycle here, out of the first iteration that we have, to the beginning of Dogecoin's bull cycle, which that's what that is, right? 18 months is the time that it took. From the next one, we had the beginning of Bitcoin's bull cycle to the beginning of Dogecoin's bull cycle. 22 months is what that took. And now we are at the beginning of Bitcoin's bull cycle here to our current time frame. We are at 20 months of Dogecoin doing its thing without being in an established like uptrend, without breaking its all-time highs, essentially, right? Having that breakout move, that would send it to breaking out into new all-time highs. 20 bars. So this actually would suggest a little bit earlier. Maybe no, that is October. Okay, so that's the earliest that we would go, and maybe it is October. Maybe it is October. Maybe it gets later. Maybe it went from 18 to 22. This time it could be 24 or 23. Maybe this time it's 20 and we're about to break out and everything I'm saying is wrong. But I do believe that we're going to consolidate around that 123 moving average for an extended period of time, as we have each cycle before. And we've only kind of recently started doing that since March, where this time we kind of did it from March of 2019 until December of 2020, right? Well over a year. This time we did it from June 2016, broke out on like March of 2017, so almost a year there. This time not really quite as much time around this area, and we've really just gotten to it over the past month or so. So expecting at least another couple months, which again would line up with this whole narrative, or this idea here, going to 22 months there based on our last cycle. But it could be longer. It absolutely could be longer. I think this bull cycle will end in late 2025, so I think we have a lot of time. All that to say, right, all that to say, looking at this for what it is, Dogecoin moves up in a very short amount of time. It doesn't need the whole cycle to do these phenomenal things. It doesn't need all this, right? A lot of coins do. Dogecoin just uses that end bit and it fuels the fire. So we're not there yet. Whenever crypto's at the end, whenever it's at its bull cycle finish, we are 1, 2. I mean, let's actually kind of compare this real quick. 1 month here, 5 months. It doesn't count the first month, so let's actually just say 6 months. It's a half year. It actually continued to move up afterwards. 7 months. 7 months right there. That was like the beginning to the end of Dogecoin's kind of move up, right? 7 months, and that was right at the end of the Bitcoin bull cycle as well. 1 month after, maybe 2 months after technically, because this was the top for Bitcoin, but the Bitcoin bull cycle ended here. Here, and again, I'm going to put it 1 back because it says 0 bars. I want to include this bar 1, right, to where it topped off, 11 bars, 7 bars, 11 bars, and then again, not at the peak, but 1 month after instead of 2 months after this time. I mean, with this kind of in mind, when it is time for Dogecoin to move up, which let's just say it's as early as October, right? That would mean that we have a 7, potentially a 7, which would be May of 2025 to 11 bar window, September of 2025, which is closer to what I'm expecting of where crypto might top off. The Dogecoin metric, we could call it the Dogecoin metric, 7 to 11. I don't know. A lot of things pointing toward that late spring, early summertime. There's a lot more, I think, pointing toward that fall time, end of summertime. But time will tell, guys. Time will tell. We're talking about whole different things here than just a Dogecoin meme coin video. A little bit of Bitcoin analysis for funsies at the end there, and then just a little bit of in-depth analysis for Dogecoin. Anyways, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.